productive agricultural lands converted into non-agricultural uses, and that's why we are losing so many irrigated rice lands, for example. We have had difficulty with mining issues, with location of industries, with protecting our vulnerable areas, environmentally fragile areas because of this lack of national land use. So I appeal to, again, to Congress. It's a LEDAC item in the 19th Congress. Unfortunately, it was not touched. Hopefully this time we can be successful.
Madam Chair, if the information of this representation is correct, the House of Representatives previous Congresses approved the proposed Land Use Act. So, per the information that I got, the challenges are actually being encountered in the upper house, the Senate. So, in brief statement, Mr. Secretary, may we be enlightened, ano po ba talaga yung issue about Land Use and Classification Act? Why, to this date, after 2 decades, according to you, the same has not yet been enacted?
There are apparently some conflicting
Interest.
provisions and interests between what the House wants and what the upper house, lower house wants and what the upper house wants. But I think that we recognize, Madam Chair, the difficulty of the national land use, the complexity. It's just like amending the EPIRA law. It's very difficult process. So what we are, the strategy that we will pursue this time is perhaps to decompartmentalize the national land use so that we can take them piece by piece. Perhaps in the first round, we could focus on the land use for the infrastructure system throughout the country, from the tip of Luzon to the tip of the Visayas. Just having that, defining what that transport roadmap, that connectivity roadmap will be, so that you can plan for the long haul, for where those national highways should be, where this inter-island shipping, should be, and we can program the build-up of this infrastructure. As of now, it's extremely difficult to even plan for one because, as you notice, our roads are, just big letter S, or, instead of going straight, just because of this difficulty of, or not having a good land use for this. So that's our plan, Madam Chair. We'll prioritize that bill. It will be included in the LEDAC for approval by, or for consideration by the 20th Congress.
Madam Chair, this representation just wish to state for the record, we are not against any particular industry. We support agriculture, we support real estate development, even mining. We appreciate its significance to our national economy. However, Madam Chair, with all the catastrophes we commonly refer to now as climate change, I believe that it is high time already that we come up with a national framework pertaining to land use and classification. Mr. Secretary, may I ask if you are amenable to having a council, national council, perhaps to assist all the concerned agencies come up with this Land Use and Classification Act?
The National Land Use Committee that committee exists. It's part of the Economy and Development Council structure. for now, that's serving as the uh, office that considers policy proposals for land use. But I think that we will need to consider whether we will create another agency or not. But I don't think that a special agency is needed. I think that we just need a clarity on what the national land use is, so that the various departments can implement their programs and projects effectively.
May I know, Mr. Secretary, if in the Land Use Committee all the concerned agencies are properly represented? Because I understand this is a concern not only of one government agency but of various government agencies.
It's actually a very big committee.
It's a big
Madam
committee.
Chair, yeah. It's, in fact, it's quite difficult to call a meeting because it's just too big. And that's understandable because there are just so many sectors that are affected by a land use policy.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will definitely support the bill towards the Land Use and Classification Act. My next question, Madam Chair, is for my kababayan from Batangas, the Honorable Secretary Ralph Recto. Check, marami pong nagko-comment from Calabarzon that Region 4A is the catch basin of NCR, which I totally agree. I totally agree in every sense of the word, both positive and negative. In terms of development, catch basin ang Calabarzon. In terms of damage or perhaps problems, catch basin din po ang Calabarzon. Considering the so many development already that you have brought, not only to Batangas, but in the country as a whole, may I know your thoughts, Mr. Secretary, about how Calabarzon, or Batangas in particular, can properly take the lead towards achieving the desired land use and classification in a national framework?
Thank you very much for your question. I wanted to chime in earlier. You know, Congress passes a law to determine what is alienable and disposable. Okay? The reason why Congress, I suppose, has not been able to pass the Land Use Act is because land use essentially is the power of the local government unit. It is the province and the cities who determine which area is agricultural, which area is residential, industrial, so on and so forth. No? So with the National Land Use Act, you're creating another layer at the top. So naturally, from the point of view of the local government units and let's say developers, okay, they will oppose that they will have to get two permits, one at the local and one at the national, especially if it's a committee with 20 members. Okay? So, to answer your question with regard to Batangas, well, now that because of your assistance and my wife today is governor, we can plan the province properly insofar as our physical framework planning is concerned. There is unity in the province, so there's no reason why we're not able to come out with a good local land use act in the province. Knowing fully well as well that there are many investors interested to continue to invest or to invest in the province of Batangas, considering we're very close to Manila. And as I say, Batangas is all here, so near to Metro Manila. So we should expect more investments, and ergo, we have to plan the province accordingly. And that is why you also have the regional development councils, so that there is a mechanism for the governors and the local officials, together with the congressmen, to talk, so that they can also get inputs in determining our land use policy in the region.
Madam Chair, if I may continue. Mr. Secretary, thank you for your insights and your comments. Of course, we acknowledge the fact that the LGUs have their respective CLUPs, both the municipalities and the province, but I am concerned as to whether all these CLUPs jive with the National Development Plan. So it is from this light that I wish to push the land use and classification as a national framework, perhaps to synchronize the direction of the local government with that of the national government. Mr. Secretary.
I agree with the national land use policy. Well, my comments were in relation to the friction between the local government and the national government and the developers in the middle.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. If I can move to Madam Secretary Amenah Pangandaman.
Just to remind the Honorable Luistro, you have 30 seconds left.
Yes, I'm about to conclude, Madam Chair. Secretary, I understand that this is a concern of various agencies as mentioned earlier, the land use and classification. So may I know or may we know kahit paano po ba nasama ito sa discussion in our current budget process? Is this part of the priorities or programs of the national government as reflected in the National Expenditure Program? Meron po bang na-touch somehow among the several items of the NEP of different agencies that address our concern on land use and classification?
Before the Secretary answers, that will be the last question, ma'am. Secretary Pangandaman, please respond.
Yes, Madam Chair. There's a provision of technical assistance to local government units in the preparation and updating of comprehensive land use plans and zoning ordinances. The budget is under the DSUD, and it has a budget of 196 million pesos, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chair, can I make 1 minute conclusion? 1 minute.
If we allow that, other members would complain because hindi rin sila pinayagan previously, Madam Chair. I beg your indulgence. You can also sign up for the next round, Madam Chair.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next on the list, on the part of the majority, may I call on my kababayan, Congressman Tony Roman.
Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. I guess this question is to the DBCC or anyone who cares to respond to the questions. As we all know, we in government are all problem solvers. Okay, the last major problem we had was flooding. Karina and Habagat happened before the submission of the budget. I don't have the specific dates. What kinds of adjustments did you do or make in the budget to address the flooding problem? Maybe Secretary Amenah.
Top of my Madam Chair is the budget under the Department of Public Works and Highways. They
Yes.
have provided 272 billion pesos for flood control projects under the 2026 proposed National Expenditure Program, and there's 2.5 billion also under the MMDA. And we just started po, admittedly this is quite new. We have a new program, convergence budgeting on water resource management, which also includes flood control in the conceptualization of the program, Madam Chair.
My next question, Secretary Amenah, is that what about the NDR-MMC? Was there additional funding given to the NDR-MMC?
Yes,
For this
there's
year.
additional 10 billion pesos